Don't get us wrong, Samsung's Galaxy S5 was a decent phone, but that didn't stop it from being a little bit of a disappointment, and not least because of the plasticky design. Well, Samsung's basically taken the Galaxy S5, ripped it apart and started again for the Galaxy S6, and we're definitely not disappointed. Samsung seems to have taken inspiration from Sony's latest flagship, as the Galaxy S6 shares a lot of common design decisions with the Xperia Z3. You get the same silver trim around the edging, some nicely curved corners and a fresh all-glass back, coming in a number of subtle shades. However, while the Xperia Z3's glossy surfaces scuff up just a little with day-to-day use, the Galaxy S6 is a fingerprint demon. Just half a minute of handling is enough to turn a spotless S6 into a plague of smudges and greasy prints, which detracts from the otherwise sexy design. Scuffs aside, the Galaxy S6 sits comfortably enough in your palm, and it can just about be used one-handed. You'll notice that the USB port is no longer covered with a flappy thing, and that's because the Galaxy S6 sadly isn't water resistant, unlike last year's S5. It's no biggie, but it is worth bearing in mind if you can't even leave your phone alone while you jump in the bath. Samsung's latest version of TouchWiz doesn't look or feel drastically different from earlier versions with the same bright, bold desktops on offer. But Samsung has wisely decided not to bombard users with non-stop features that they'll never use. There's still some good functionality in there though, such as the ability to multitask by split screening apps. The S6 is super secure too, helped along by the brand new fingerprint scanner. You no longer have to swipe your digit, just press your print against the narrow home button, like with Apple's Touch ID sensor, and it'll pick it right up. It's a lot more accurate, meaning it works pretty much every time, which also means zero frustration. And not only can it be used for unlocking the handset, but you can also use it to authorise PayPal transactions. Another big upgrade over the S5 is the new Quad HD Super AMOLED screen. It's the same size as last year's model at 5.1 inches, but the resolution has been bumped right up, given an almighty 577 pixels per inch. That even knocks the mighty LG G3 on its arse, no mean feat. Combine the ridiculous sharpness with the panel's pleasing vibrancy and incredibly wide viewing angles, and you have easily one of the best mobile displays we've ever seen, period. Media fans beware, however. Samsung has stripped the memory card slot from the S6, making this one of the only flagship phones that doesn't have expandable storage. Instead, if you want to carry lots of movies and tunes around, you'll need to bag yourself the more expensive 64GB or 128GB models. The Galaxy S6 rocks Samsung's own Exynos chipset, an octa-core processor that provides excellent all-round performance. I saw only the occasional tiny little judder when multitasking with apps, while the latest games ran perfectly and 4K movie recording and playback is faultless. The phone can get a little bit toasty at times, but not to an uncomfortable degree. Battery life is actually pretty good too, considering that bright, super crisp, power-sucking screen. The phone can happily last a full day and even stream video for a solid 7 to 8 hours before the battery runs dry. There's also a quick charge facility, so you can get a few hours of use from just a few minutes plugged into the socket. And you can also charge wirelessly if you're so inclined, although the quick charge facility won't work unless the phone is actually plugged in. Samsung has also nailed the phone's 16-megapixel snapper, which on full auto mode captures everyday life without any stress. For a start, you can quickly call up the camera even when the phone is hibernating with a quick double tap of the home button. The camera interface is a little cluttered, especially after slick clean efforts like the LG G3's, but anyone who likes fiddling with the manual controls will enjoy. The shutter is suitably nippy, taking photos as soon as you tap, and my photos were absolutely packed with detail. The new f1.9 aperture lens makes low-light photography much easier than with the Galaxy S5, and even rivals like the iPhone 6, so you won't need to use the LED flash unless you're in a pitch-dark room. You can shoot video in Full HD at either 30 or 60 frames per second, and you can even crank things up to 2K or even 4K for super high-def shenanigans. The front-facing 5-megapixel camera also packs a low-light aperture and the HDR mode, and we found it took awesome selfies even at night time. There's even a wide selfie mode, which does a good job of stitching together a number of shots taken in quick succession, so you can snap your whole crew when you're in the club. Samsung's Galaxy S6 is easily its most desirable phone since the Galaxy S2, sporting an all-new look and feel and cramming in a ton of beautifully implemented features. If you want entertainment, there's that crisp and colourful screen, and mobile photographers will cream themselves over the new camera tech. If you're a business user, then you've got awesome security features too. And of course then there's that all-new fingerprint scanner as well, which won't just appeal to business users but also consumers, thanks to the PayPal authorization. In fact, apart from those smudgy glass surfaces and the lack of expandable storage, it's hard to find any fault at all with the Galaxy S6. It's pretty much the very definition of an all-round masterpiece. For the full Galaxy S6 review, check out rocombi.com/mobile.
Performance, power, you love it, I love it, everyone wants it, and the 930 has it. This has a quad-core processor, and that makes it a veritable